What if ordinary places suddenly became gateways to impossible worlds? From a door that leads nowhere and a phone booth that rings at midnight to hidden cities, frozen rain, and a newspaper from tomorrow. These are 11 strange worlds where reality takes an unexpected turn. What if you found a Victorian door standing completely alone in the middle of an empty alley? No walls, no building, just an old wooden door standing on the pavement. But when you look through the keyhole, you don't see the alley behind it. You see an endless glowing library stretching deep into darkness. You turn the brass handle. The door opens. Warm golden light spills across the cold pavement, followed by the smell of ancient books. Then you hear footsteps. A shadowy figure appears between the endless bookshelves. It slowly approaches the doorway and holds out a small brass key. Before you can take it, the door begins closing. You grab the key. The door slams shut. And when you look back, the entire door has disappeared. Only the key remains in your hand. What does the key unlock? What if an abandoned phone booth started ringing on an empty city street at midnight? You step inside and pick up the heavy receiver. A calm mechanical voice begins, describing events from your own past, details that no stranger should know. Then the voice says, "Look at the street." You do. A security camera across the road suddenly turns toward you. The voice explains that it has been watching the city through an old network of cameras and sensors. Then it gives you a strange instruction. When you get home tonight, do not open your front door. You ask why. The voice goes silent. Then after several seconds it says, "Because someone is already standing on the other side." The call suddenly ends. You step out of the booth and notice that your house lights are already on. You open your mailbox and find tomorrow's newspaper. There's no name on the envelope, no address, just a black seal. You open it. The front page describes a massive power outage that supposedly happened tomorrow in your exact neighborhood. You laugh it off. Until 5:59 p.m. You watch the clock. 6 p.m. Every light on the street suddenly goes dark. You grab the newspaper again. But the second page has changed. A new headline has appeared. The man who received the envelope opens his front door. You freeze. Then 3 slow knocks come from outside. The newspaper wasn't predicting what would happen. It was telling you what to do next. What if a strange humming noise woke you at exactly 3 a.m. and led you to a basement door that had never existed before? You open it. Behind the door is a flight of stone stairs, descending deep beneath your street. At the bottom, you discover a perfectly preserved 1920s subway station, but there's no dust, no damage. Everything looks brand new. Then you notice the arrival board. It shows only one destination. Next departure, alternate sector 4, 3:15 a.m. You hear a train approaching. A sleek brass train silently glides into the station. Its doors open. Inside are rows of empty velvet seats. Then the station clock reaches 3:15. The doors remain open. And from inside the train, you hear someone quietly say your name. You park your car in an empty underground garage at midnight and discover a road that shouldn't exist. You follow the hidden ramp deeper underground. The concrete tunnel suddenly opens into a massive, illuminated highway stretching into complete darkness. No signs, no exits, only polished brass arrows pointing toward one destination. Sector 0, Central Core. You keep driving. Then your headlights reveal something impossible. Dozens of identical cars are parked perfectly along the median. Same model, same color, same license plate. And then you notice something even stranger. Every car has its headlights turned on. You slow down. Your own headlights suddenly switch off, and somewhere in the darkness ahead, another engine starts.
You open your front door on a normal Tuesday morning, and your entire street has been replaced by black crystal. The asphalt is gone. A thick black line surrounds every house on the block. Nobody knows who created it. Then your neighbor steps outside, but stops just before touching the strange boundary. He points toward the end of the street. A massive carved wooden archway has appeared overnight. You walk closer. Beyond it, your city is gone. No buildings, no roads, no cars. Just an endless silent forest beneath a dark crimson sun. Then you notice something terrifying. The black crystal isn't surrounding the houses. It's keeping something inside. And from deep within the forest, something begins walking toward the archway.
You take the elevator to your apartment basement, but the doors open into a city hanging upside down in space. You step out. Below you, endless glass skyscrapers hang upside down over a massive star-filled void. Polished obsidian platforms connect the towers, while strange brass walkways stretch between them. People in elegant coats calmly walk beneath glowing cyan arches, as if this impossible city is completely normal. You turn back toward the elevator. A mechanical voice suddenly announces, "Welcome to Platform 7. Return doors close in 60 seconds." You press the button. Nothing happens. The countdown begins. 59, 58, 57. Then you notice something written on the elevator wall. "Do not return alone." And somewhere beneath the inverted city, something starts climbing toward you.
You take a wrong turn in the fog, and your headlights suddenly reveal a city made entirely of giant copper gears. You stop the car. Massive clockwork towers rise through the mist, connected by enormous rotating mechanisms. Steam pipes run beneath the streets while strange mechanical airships drift between the buildings. Then you hear a low humming sound. Giant tuning forks built into the towers begin vibrating, powering thousands of brass streetlights across the city. You think you've discovered a forgotten civilization. Then someone knocks on your window. A masked city guard stands outside, holding an ancient map. He points to one location, your exact starting point. You look back toward the road you came from. The fog has disappeared. The road is gone. And the guard quietly points toward the city gates, as if he has been waiting for you.
You drive through the fog and suddenly enter a city where sound doesn't exist. You step out of your car. Nothing. No engine. No footsteps. Not even your own voice. The streets are filled with people, but nobody speaks. Then you notice something strange. The residents carry small glowing brass lanterns that project words through the fog. One of them points directly at you. A message appears. "Do not speak." You look around, confused. Another message appears. The city is listening. Then a child slowly points toward the enormous stone walls surrounding the city. They're moving. Very slowly, and with every movement, the ground begins to shake. The child raises his lantern one final time. If they hear you, they wake up.
What if you walked through a violent rainstorm and suddenly stepped into a city where not a single drop of rain could fall? The streets are completely dry. Above the Gothic towers, an enormous layer of storm clouds hangs frozen in the sky, but something strange is happening beneath them. Tiny glowing drops fall from the clouds and disappear into brass lanterns placed along the streets. The silent residents collect the liquid carefully, as if it were more valuable than gold. Then one of them approaches you with an umbrella. He points toward the sky. A small crack has appeared across the frozen clouds. You watch as the crack slowly spreads. The resident grabs your arm and leads you toward the city entrance. "We have to leave before the storm starts again." You look back at the city and realize the rainstorm outside is getting closer. What if everyone on Earth woke up with a completely different superpower? At first it was chaos. Some people could fly, others could become invisible, and a few could control objects with their minds. Governments tried to understand what was happening, while people everywhere began testing their strange new abilities. But then something unexpected happened. One person discovered that their power wasn't just controlling objects. It could control other people's powers. Suddenly, the most powerful person on Earth wasn't the strongest or the fastest. It was someone who could take away every superpower with a single thought.